Hi you guys, it's Lisa. I was cleaning my craft room this week. Takes me about a week. And I came across some things that I haven't used in quite a while. And I'm going to make some um, embellishments for my projects. And I thought, well, while I was doing it, I should quick show you. So this is going to be like a quick tip for you here. So I save all of my calendars because they're absolutely gorgeous. This is by Lang Calendars, and this one is called Field Guide, and you can see all of the really cool pictures on here. Now I'm going to cut it up and I'm going to use it in my creations. What I'm going to do is create some fragments and these little embellishment tags. So this is what I need. You need some pictures, and I pulled out one whole page. And if you know me, I absolutely love dragonflies. Whoopsies. So this is where we're going to start. So Fragments are by Tim Holtz, and they are a acrylic, heavy duty acrylic, and this one has a bunch of fingerprints on it, so I'm just using my glass towel here, and I'm just getting some of those fingerprints and smudges. These have been in my stash for years, and they're really cool, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. I've been making quite a few of them today, so like I said, I want to go ahead and show you what I was doing. You use glossy accents. I'm going to use this dragonfly because it is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Either side will work, and I'll link all the stuff in the description below. Of course, I'm using glossy accents, which never comes out for me on camera. So I have another one, and it was working just fine before I decided to start to film here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and it takes a few times to figure out how much to use. You just have to practice like anything. So you put it on like that, you flip it over your image, and then you squish, and you can see the air bubbles coming out, and I'm just kind of moving it around a little bit, trying to get the glossy accents under all of the parts of the tile. And then I'm lining it up to this edge because I really like that, and I'm giving it a real good push. Now this dries really super fast. I'm going to set it aside, and we'll go back to it because I like to let it dry just a little bit. So I want to use this one on the other side also. So I'm going to gently, I wanted to kind of use those flowers, but we're going to go ahead and cut this off. And for me, it's all about using these things, recycling these things, and if you can make them into these really cool embellishments, why not? Here's another dragonfly on this side. So I'm going to use a smaller one, wipe it off with my glass towel here for my glasses, and we'll do another one so you can see how quick and easy they are. And yeah, you can spend a whole day doing this, cutting up your scraps and using a whole bunch of these fragments. I wanted to get the flower in there and the dragonfly. And I don't mind that little bit of Friday, Saturday on there. Those are two of my favorite days of the week. So I'm going to leave that in there. Squished. I can see that it's all covered. Set it aside. Okay, I had another one here. I was going to use this butterfly. And I'm being careful not to cut this one because I'll use that in a different project for sure. Okay. See if I cut it big enough. Just barely. Oh boy. Yeah, you want to be careful with that. You don't want to cut it too small. I did cut that too small. I'm not going to use it. We'll go on to this pansy up in the corner. And I'll show you something else. Now, I have these wooden tag embellishments. These I got from Michael's. I think they were $4.99 for like 50 of them. And these I found on Amazon, and I'll link them below. They're just balsa wood embellishments. I'm going to do this pansy for this one. And I'm just placing it over the image how I like it. Just like that. And I'm really holding it with my thumb. I'm going to go ahead and cut around it. Now, you could cut around it, you know, put a pencil line down, but I kind of like to leave a little bit of edge. If you can see, I have a little bit of edge on there, and you'll see why in a minute. So I'm going to put my little tag thing down. This one isn't working. I'm using my glossy accents again. I'm putting my pansy over the top, and it's alright. It's going to hang over the edge a little bit. I want that. I'm pressing it down. I have a baby wipe on the side here. I'm going to wipe off some of that glossy accent because I had it gooing all over on this one. Way too much, but you learn. I also have a little pin, stick pin, and I'm going to poke through that hole so I don't lose it. Oops. And I'll do this just so I know where that is. This takes a little bit to dry, so don't worry about it. So I'm going to let that dry also. Wipe off my pin. We'll do one more here. What I can find on here. And you know, this looks really cute right here. Just these two little flowers. Can you see them there? So I'm going to cut that just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to put some on my tile. Not as much as before, obviously. And I keep wiping my nozzle of my glossy accents so that it doesn't clog up. It's nice when you're working like that. You can do that. I want it to look like this. Over to the edge. I'm squeezing real good. And a little bit did come out around the edges. Just wiping them off. And I'm going to set that one aside. Now, we'll go back to our fragments that we did. This one here is good. I'm going to cut around it. Okay. And this beautiful one here. Oh, it's gorgeous. And you're saying, well, what are you going to use it for? I think I'm actually going to cover a tin with a bunch of these out of this magazine, or calendar, because then you know all of the colors and everything in the theme is going to match for the whole tin. Isn't that gorgeous? You could also put magnets on the back, and you could have a refrigerator magnet. You could give them as gifts. I I wouldn't mind to get a little brown edge on that paper, and I was working on some other ones, and I was doing that, but it didn't really seem to make a big difference. They are super gorgeous the way they are. Now behind me I have some books, and I'm going to set these underneath the books, and I'm going to leave them for a few hours because I really want them to be nice and stuck down. So I'll do that. Okay, back to these. I have a little file, nail file, and yes, it's very old. So I'm going to go around them with my emery board, nail file, whatever you have. And I'm getting that edge off. Now this technique for these wooden things I learned from Tracie Fox, and I will link her channel underneath mine so you can check out the full thing. Obviously she does different things. She's really into junk journaling and things, so she would use these in her junk journals. I just think they're absolutely gorgeous, so I'm going to use them any way I can. I'm going to put this distress ink around the edge, and this is my favorite vintage photo. I use that all the time, and you would know that. Okay, I'm going to do the other one here. Just going to cut a little bit of this off because there's a lot. And I've got my favorite Amplify scissors by Fiskars. I'll link those also. I actually just bought another pair of those because I really, really miss them if I go down to the cottage and I don't have them. So I bought another pair of them for my craft bag with a coupon, of course. You know me, I don't want to pay full price too much if I don't have to, unless there's a, you know, my friend's craft store or something when I'm going on a little craft haul. And this one I didn't push the button or the hole here. I'm going to do that right now, just so you can see it through the other side in case you were going to use it as a charm or something. I'm going to ink the edges. Now, what you do with these to make them as cool as possible, you take your Versamark ink and your ultra thick clear embossing powder. I'm going to carefully do this. I'm going to, I thought I was going to get out a coffee filter, but looks to me like I don't have one available. So you take your Versamark ink, you push it on top of this piece, then you take the piece off, you dump it in your ultra thick, put it back on your paper, take it over to your heat gun, and you heat that, and it's going to melt. You may need to do it 2 or 3 times. Totally up to you how thick you want it. I'm going to stop filming. Go ahead and do that for both of mine, and I'll be back to show you how cool they are. Hang on. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, how cute are these embellishments? I only did 1 coat of the ultra thick embossing powder on here in clear, and it did the trick. But if you want them thicker, you go right ahead. They're just like cute little tiles. You put a jump ring through there, and you could tie it on with a little bit of I don't know, lace, or you could use twine or something. These are absolutely gorgeous. And look at that dragonfly. Wowzers, huh? Now, I'll show you pictures at the end. This was just going to be a quick tip for you. Call it maybe a crafting quick tip. Maybe I'll do a little series on those. And just something to get you inspired. You have plenty of ideas how you can use these, but you will see them in my projects coming forward or going forward. So pay attention to my channel and you'll be able to see these beauties in some of my creations. Have a great weekend and we will see you again soon.